There's something unsettling about a Sigma male. Not because he's dangerous, but because his very existence challenges everything people think they know about social hierarchies. Have you ever met someone so independent, so calculated, and so unpredictable that it made you question everything about them? Imagine this. You're at a social event, people are talking, laughing, blending into the crowd. Then there's him. He stands apart, observing, detached, but fully aware of everything happening around him. He speaks only when necessary, but when he does, his words cut through the noise like a knife. There's something about his presence that makes people uneasy yet oddly intrigued. That, my friends, is the Sigma male. He's not following the script society has set for him. He moves on his own terms, and that's what makes him so spine-chilling to the world around him. And here's the kicker. He doesn't even realize he's doing it. As Carl Jung once said, the shoe that fits one person pinches another. There is no recipe for living that suits all cases. Sigmas don't fit the mold, and that's exactly why they stand out. Stick around as we dive into 10 spine-chilling things Sigma males do without realizing it. And trust me, you'll never look at them the same way again. Let's get into it. They vanish without a trace 1 minute. He's in the room. The next gone. No drawn-out speeches. No dramatic exits. Just silence. Sigmas have mastered the art of disappearing without a trace. Why? Because society expects closure, explanations, and constant validation. But Sigmas don't operate on society's terms. They move on their own frequency. This ability to vanish isn't about ghosting or playing games. When a situation no longer serves their peace, Sigmas don't waste time over explaining. They've observed, analyzed, and made their decision. Whether it's a toxic workplace, a one-sided friendship, or a relationship that drains their energy, they leave without second-guessing. Most people struggle with this concept because they crave approval and external reassurance. But a Sigma doesn't need validation. He trusts his instincts. If you're a Sigma, never apologize for protecting your energy. Not everyone deserves access to your presence, and those who do will appreciate the rare moments you choose to stay. They can read people like a book. Have you ever been around someone who seems to read your thoughts before you even speak? That's the power of a Sigma male. His ability to analyze human behavior isn't just sharp, it's almost eerie. While most people take words at face value, a Sigma dissects everything. Body language, microexpressions, vocal tone shifts, and even the pauses between sentences. This makes people uneasy, especially those with hidden agendas. Why? Because they realize manipulation won't work. Sigma spot contradictions instantly. A forced smile, an avoidant glance, or a split-second hesitation. These are red flags that most miss, but a Sigma catches them effortlessly. Science backs this up. Studies show that people who spend more time observing social interactions rather than actively participating develop a heightened ability to detect deception. Since Sigmas prefer to stay on the outskirts, watching and analyzing, they naturally sharpen this skill over time. This intuitive awareness isn't just about reading people. It's a survival tool. In relationships, it helps them avoid emotion and business. It prevents them from being taken advantage of. While others fall for charming words and empty promises, a Sigma waits, watches, and reads between the lines. If you've ever felt uncomfortable around a Sigma, it's probably because he sees what you're not saying. And if you're a Sigma, trust that instinct. It's one of your greatest strengths. 3. Silence is louder than words. A Sigma male doesn't need to dominate a conversation to make his presence felt. While others compete for attention with loud voices and exaggerated gestures, he remains calm, composed, and observant. That's what makes him so intriguing and, to some, unsettling. Silence is a powerful tool. Studies show that people associate quiet confidence with authority and intelligence. When someone speaks less, their words carry more weight. Sigmas understand this instinctively. They don't engage in meaningless chatter or feel the need to fill every silence with words. Instead, they listen, analyze, and speak only when necessary. This restraint unnerves people because silence forces self-reflection. In the presence of a Sigma, individuals start questioning their own words and actions. Is he judging them? Does he know something they don't? The truth is, a Sigma isn't preoccupied with others' insecurities. He's simply uninterested in superficial conversation. Mastering the art of silence isn't about being antisocial. It's about being intentional. Want to command respect? Start by speaking less and listening more. When you do speak, make sure your words are precise and impactful. Avoid gossip, empty flattery, and pointless arguments. Instead, let your actions and energy speak for you. In a world where everyone is trying to be heard, the one who speaks the least often commands the most attention. That's the Sigma way. 4. They attract people without trying. There's a reason why people are naturally drawn to Sigma males. It's not about flashy displays, overconfidence, or forced charm. It's the mystery, the quiet self-assurance, the ability to move through life without seeking validation. Psychology backs this up. Humans are wired to be intrigued by what they can't fully understand. The more unavailable something is, the more desirable it becomes. This is called the scarcity principle, a well-documented phenomenon in behavioral psychology. When something is perceived as rare, its value increases. Sigmas, by nature, embody this effortlessly. Unlike extroverts who crave social attention or even traditional introverts who shy away from it, Sigmas are a paradox. They don't reject attention, but they also don't seek it. This indifference is what makes them so magnetic. People can't help but wonder, what's going on in his mind? Why doesn't he need approval like everyone else? And here's the real kicker: Sigmas aren't playing a game. They genuinely don't care whether people are drawn to them or not. They're too focused on their own goals, personal growth, and inner world to chase external validation. This kind of self-sufficiency is rare, and in a world obsessed with attention and status, it's downright fascinating. Ironically, the more Sigmas stay detached, the more people chase them. That's the power of mystery. And for a Sigma, it's not a strategy. It's just who they are. 5. They walk alone and love it. Nothing unsettles people more than someone who is completely at peace with being alone. In a world that glorifies constant social interaction, the idea of enjoying solitude seems almost unnatural. But for a Sigma male, solitude isn't just a preference. It's a necessity. Why? Because true strength isn't found in the noise of the crowd. It's cultivated in silence. Studies in psychology suggest that people who spend time alone tend to have higher levels of self-awareness, creativity, and problem-solving skills. While most fear loneliness, Sigmas use it to sharpen their minds, master their emotions, and build unshakable confidence. This independence disrupts the norm. Society thrives on validation. People seek approval through likes, compliments, and groupthink. But a Sigma, he needs none of it. He doesn't measure his worth by external feedback, and that confuses people. They wonder, why doesn't he need what we need? How can he be so self-sufficient? The truth is, solitude is a secret weapon. It's where clarity is found, where vision is refined, and where distractions fade. While others waste time seeking constant entertainment, Sigmas use their alone time to strategize, improve, and evolve. If you're a Sigma, never let society trick you into thinking solitude is a weakness. It's the forge where real power is built, because in the end, the strongest man isn't the one surrounded by people. He's the one who stands firm, even when no one is watching. 6. They are immune to peer pressure. You can't control a Sigma male. You can't pressure him into conformity, and you certainly can't manipulate him with social norms. He moves through life on his own terms, completely detached from the need for approval. And that, right there, is what rattles people the most. Psychologists call this internal locus of control. The belief that one's life is shaped by personal choices rather than external influences. Sigmas embody this principle effortlessly. While most people adjust their behavior to fit in, fearing rejection or judgment, a Sigma walks his own path. Trends, he ignores them. Groupthink, he rejects it. External validation, he doesn't need it. This level of self-sufficiency is rare, and deep down, many wish they had it. That's why Sigmas trigger strong reactions. Some admire them, some resent them, but no one can ignore them. Their mere existence challenges the social hierarchy. If one man can be truly free, What does that say about everyone else trapped by societal expectations? The truth is, the moment you stop seeking approval, you become untouchable. When you don't crave validation, no one can control you. When you don't fear judgment, no one can pressure you. And when you decide that your own opinion matters most, you become the master of your own destiny. That's why a Sigma male is unstoppable. He doesn't ask for permission. He just moves forward. And the world? It either follows or gets left behind. See, they have a stare that penetrates the soul, ever-locked eyes with a Sigma male and felt like he could see right through you. That's not your imagination. It's his intensity. Most people engage in eye contact passively, breaking away when things get too personal. But a Sigma, his gaze is unwavering, deliberate, and deeply observant. Psychologists suggest that prolonged eye contact triggers a primal response. It can signal dominance, confidence, or even attraction. But when a Sigma does it, it's different. His eye contact isn't about intimidation or control. It's about seeing. He's reading micro-expressions, analyzing intentions, and cutting through the social mask people wear. A level of raw, unfiltered focus leaves people uneasy because it's rare. Most people are used to surface-level interactions, small talk, forced smiles, and glances that flicker away too quickly. But when a Sigma locks eyes with someone, it feels personal. It demands presence. And in a world of distractions, that's unsettling. If you want to command respect like a Sigma, master the art of eye contact. Confidence isn't in how much you talk. It's in how well you observe. Holding eye contact slightly longer than usual forces people to acknowledge your presence. It signals composure, intelligence, and self-assurance. Just don't overdo it. There's a fine line between confidence and creeping people out. The key is balance. Enough intensity to make people take you seriously, but not so much that they start backing away. A Sigma's gaze is a weapon, but he wields it with precision, and that's what makes him so powerful. 8. They never explain themselves. A Sigma male doesn't explain himself. He just moves. When he makes a decision, that's it. No endless justifications, no back and forth debates, no seeking validation, and that's exactly why people find him so unsettling. Why? Because most people are conditioned to seek permission. Society trains us to second-guess ourselves, to explain every move, and to make sure no one feels uncomfortable with our choices. He doesn't operate that way. He trusts his instincts, weighs the facts, and acts. Simple. Psychologists call this decision autonomy, the ability to make independent choices without external influence. Studies show that people with strong decision-making autonomy tend to be more successful, less anxious, and more respected. Why? Because confidence breeds certainty, and certainty commands authority. Think about it. Who do you respect more? The person who wavers on every decision, needing endless reassurance, or the one who simply decides and moves forward? Exactly. If you want to embody Sigma-level confidence, your decisions don't require a committee's approval. You don't owe everyone a reason for your path in life. Sometimes, a simple no or because I decided is enough. This doesn't mean being dismissive or arrogant. It means valuing your time and energy. Not everyone deserves a front-row seat to your thought process. Some people just need to see the results. So, move like a Sigma. Decide. Act. Let people wonder. Let them question. Just don't waste time justifying what you already know is 9. They are impossible to manipulate. Manipulation thrives on dependency. It only works when someone has leverage over you, whether it's approval, money, status, or emotional validation. But Sigmas, they are self-sufficient. They don't rely on external validation to feel secure, and that makes them immune to manipulation. Think about it. Manipulators control people by exploiting their fears and needs. They dangle rewards, guilt trip, or gaslight until their target gives in. But what happens when their target doesn't need anything from them? The game falls apart. This is why Sigmas are unbreakable. They operate with a level of independence that frustrates manipulators. You can't bribe someone who isn't chasing status. You can't guilt trip someone who doesn't crave approval. And you certainly can't pressure someone who is content walking away. Psychologists define this as internal locus of control. a mindset where people believe they control their own lives rather than being at the mercy of others. Studies show that individuals with a strong internal locus of control are more resilient, less anxious, and harder to manipulate. Sigmas embody this effortlessly. They don't play power games because they don't need to. Their power comes from within, and that's why manipulators hate them. If you want to be truly powerful, start by reducing your dependencies, strengthen your skills, control your emotions, and learn to validate yourself. The less you need from others, the more leverage you have. A Sigma doesn't beg for approval, and he doesn't dance for crumbs of validation. He walks his own path, knowing that real power isn't in control over others. It's in control over yourself. They are always 10 steps ahead. Most people live in reaction mode, responding to events as they come, always one step behind. But Sigmas, they anticipate. They don't just see what's happening. They see what's coming. This ability isn't luck. It's strategy. Sigmas observe patterns, analyze behavior, and think several moves ahead. They're like chess players in a world full of checkers. While others are distracted by the moment, a Sigma is already preparing for the next 3. Psychologists call this strategic foresight, the ability to predict outcomes based on patterns and trends. Studies show that those with high foresight skills tend to be more successful in business relationships and personal growth. Why? Because they don't waste time reacting. They adapt and execute. This is why Sigmas make people nervous. They're unpredictable. You can't manipulate them because they already see your intentions. You can't catch them off guard because they've already mapped out the possibilities. And the best part, they move in silence. While others boast about their plans, a Sigma works quietly, revealing nothing until it's too late. By the time people realize what's happening, the Sigma has already made his move. And if you want to be untouchable, start thinking like a Sigma. Study human behavior, recognize patterns, and stay 3 steps ahead. Never announce your next move. Just make it. Remember, the one who sees the game before it's played Sigmas, you are not like the rest. And that's your greatest power. The world may find you unsettling, but that's only because they don't understand you. Keep moving on your terms. Keep breaking the mold. If you found value in this video, make sure to subscribe and like to join this community of high-value thinkers. And always remember, your energy is sacred, your presence is rare, and your impact is undeniable. Having said this,